Let's do it.
My headphones are quite loud. It's
Yeah,
quite
they
loud in
are.
the head. I don't know if that's me or if that's the volume
No,
of my
because
little
I
thing. I'm
felt
going
like
to turn
my
that shit
head
down.
was real. My voice was really loud.
What about now? Is that a little bit better?
Yeah, that's better. That was real loud.
Yeah, golly.
I thought it was me.
I am a loud guy, but
Yeah, that was
That
a bit
was,
too much.
that was a bit too much. What do you think of my new cushions?
I really like that one you've got there. They're very nice. I'm a bit pissed off that you didn't take me shopping with you, though.
Well, I was actually going shopping with my cousin Olivia, and
that's
she
okay
recently
then.
turned 21. Happy birthday, Olivia
birthday.
Sharp. Happy birthday. I thought you were dead.
Yeah, look, I don't even know where to start with this. I feel like...
the other episode we announced your death.
Yeah, I know.
But this time, I literally couldn't get in contact
Yeah,
with
but do you know...
I was worried for your life.
This is a flow-on from last week about our cashless society and all this shit, because I feel like I've literally lost an arm today.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, I went to bed and there was SOS on my phone. I was like, oh, it's okay, whatever. Something's probably up. Went to sleep, woke up, same thing. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Turned my phone off, tried to connect to Wi-Fi. Nothing was working. Went to the gym. Then I was on the bike and looked up at the TV and there's like, Optus has a nationwide outage.
Yeah.
That's the only way I knew. And then I got home and it is, what's the time now? Fuck it. It's
So
like
you've been on SOS since when?
since 10:30 last night and it is now 1 p.m. the next day. Firstly, how the fuck in 2023 is this still a thing? And secondly, how can this affect so many people?
Do they know why? What's going on?
I don't know because I've got no access to the fucking internet.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it's bad because
But
you
they were
don't.
saying that the hospitals don't have
Yeah, but that's what I was
connection.
saying. Like, this is why it's so bad. You don't realize. I did not realize how. Well, I do, but until you don't have it, you don't realize how much you need it. Like,
Yeah.
look,
like
I've
when
survived.
you say you've lost an arm, I'm like, all right.
Nobody's been
Take
able to
it
contact
easy.
me. No, I've been able to contact no one. I can't access emails. I've not been able to work. Look, it's not.
We have
bad.
we have got a super important role where we're quite influential in the world with a massive podcast with a huge following. And I was trying to contact you to say, are you coming today? What's going on? I thought
Well, I
maybe did
couldn't-
I have to do another
but-
solo pod?
I was getting anxious because I couldn't contact you to tell you what was going on. And then I was trying to contact other people and I'm like, how do I do this? But the other thing is that I went to like I'm fine. I'll get over it. I'll just have to work late tonight. Hopefully it's fucking back on by then. But people, like we were saying, hospitals, places like that, it's clearly
government.
affected them. But I've been to 4 places this morning, businesses, and thank God I had some cash in my purse today.
Oh, because you couldn't tap and pay.
Because I couldn't do anything. So these businesses can only accept cash. And then this is even more fucked up because I was out of place getting something done and then they kept saying, you've got to pay cash only. And then people would go to an ATM, but the ATMs weren't working because there was no access to the network.
Oh.
So if basically
Hold
businesses...
on, let's break that down. You're pretty much stuck.
You're fucked. I'm okay because I had cash today. But if I didn't have cash, I probably wouldn't have been able to go.
So let's just say you're like, your baby's starving, okay, and you need to buy some baby formula.
Boy,
and then they're like, go get some cash out, and then you can't get cash out.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Correct. It wouldn't have been everywhere because it's just Optus, not Telstra. You probably would have had to go to a different ATM. It'd be fine. But it's the point is that literally 4 places I went to today needed cash. So it's just fucked though. What I can not wrap my head around is that there's no backup plan for this. It's 2023. There is technology that's fucking insane.
This is why we all need Teslas. You have a Wi-Fi in the car. That's the car holds the Wi-Fi with Starlink.
Yeah. Well, we can't all afford Teslas. So I'm just going to have to go without internet.
What a disaster.
But it is. It's fucked. And like I said, it's 1 p.m. and if anyone's tried to contact me, I'm sorry. I connected to your Wi-Fi quickly and it's like, hello. But even if my kid, what if something happened to my kids at school and I had to go pick them up? Happened last week. They can't, it's not the end of the world that someone would get them. But it's just that kind of stuff you don't think of. That
does make you think.
If you can't, it's just, the anxiety I felt this morning has been a little bit, there's been two sides to this, right? I've been anxious as fuck because I can't contact anyone. I usually wake up and, say good morning to my partner and I couldn't even do that and that made me sad. And then I was worried about him and then I'm like, oh.
It says undelivered and you're like,
yeah, but I couldn't even do it. Yeah. Well, no, but I know he's Optus as well, so it would have been the same. But then the flip side of that is nobody's been able to contact me for work. Like, I've actually had a few hours of just like
Serenity.
With
a bit of anxiety.
With a lot of anxiety.
Serenity with a side of anxiety.
Well, I haven't been on social media. It's been a bit of a detox for me.
Yeah, well, hey, well, it does. To sum that up, it does make you feel like, oh wow, we really do rely on these companies to withhold, the infrastructure.
But does it not blow your mind that this is happening?
How I want to know what happened.
Yeah, I have no idea because I haven't been able to look
Like,
at
was
anything.
it like a car accident that pulled down the line? But then it's normally a section.
But I was going to say, for a nationwide, like this is Australia-wide. This isn't just here.
They're going to cop it, aren't they?
It's fucked, yeah. There's a lot of businesses that would have lost. I mean, if the most important things are like emergency services and stuff, but surely they have backup systems.
You'd hope so.
You would hope so. But surely fucking Optus has a backup system to be out for nearly 14 hours. Anyway, it's been a morning.
Their shares are going to shit the bed.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a good time to buy them. I've heard that. Smart.
Miss phone call. Here we go. Should we listen to the voicemail?
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, it's Jade from the NAB at Gawler Branch.
Oh. Can we talk about that? How outdated and so we recently we went into the bank together to go create an account for a new business that we've got going. And what do you feel like your experience was like walking in and out of there?
Like a fucking ancient. It was just like, it was weird.
Ancient. They couldn't help us.
They had
to call us back.
Yeah,
they were like, we can't. And I'm like, why? What are we? I'm physically here.
Yeah.
Like, what do you need? I can give it to you. Well, I mean, what are we waiting on?
Yeah, what?
Can we make an appointment for Friday? I'm like, it's Monday.
Yeah.
What do you?
True.
I mean, like, what?
We just want a fucking bank account.
We just want
We want to give you our money.
It really annoyed me because I used to work at the bank and it's, I don't know, it's one of those things where I'm like, the bank need to sort themselves out.
Yeah, but it's like, like today's probably another reason that makes you think this, but I feel like there's so many fucking things in the world at the moment that are so advanced.
Yeah.
That like technology, all of this, so advanced. And then there's shit like that. Or shit like today.
What is going on?
Like, what is going on? Optus, get your shit together. Fucking NAB, get your shit together. Like, how?
Actually, NAB and
genuinely
need to get their shit together.
It was just.
What is happening?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
the
a
wall,
lot.
the paint on the walls are ripping off. I feel like I'm breathing in asbestos.
It's a heritage building. They can't do much about that, but that's okay.
But hey, put some effort into making it look all right. It
True.
looks horrific. And just like, I don't know, I walked out of there and I just felt like.
It didn't make me want to open a bank again.
No,
there.
I was like, am I going to have to write checks? What's happening?
Do you know what?
No, honestly, I walked out and I was like, do they have like a pen with a feather? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how they operate.
It's true.
It's
true.
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, but it's also how does this happen now? I don't get it.
I was a little bit upset.
Look, I think everyone's shopping is such not just everything. It's all about experience, and that was a shit experience, which
Can I just say, the lady that was serving us.
Lovely. Wasn't her fault. It was just their
the
systems.
Process it's horrible.
Correct. It was just like, it just made me, we're both so busy that we needed to get that done there and then. They should have done everything they could to just fucking do what we needed. It wasn't complicated.
You know what I was confused about?
What?
They go, we'll make an appointment on Friday, but on Thursday or whenever, we're gonna give you a call to let you know what we need. I'm like, why don't you tell me right now what you need? But
then she was gonna call you, and then she's probably tried to call me and she can't. But
anyway,
it's fucked.
Anyway, just shitting on banks, but
it's been a fucking
not happy about it.
Look, things have just been hard this week with technology. It's fucked.
It's why I put a ton of money in crypto.
Yeah, well, how's that going for you?
Not good. Not good. A while back when crypto was hot, and I think it might still be in the future. We don't know. We didn't know it was going to be hot back then.
At what point do you say it's not? Let's take that money.
Should I talk about it?
Yeah.
So at one point, I had 110,000 of my own dollars in Ethereum.
This makes me feel sick.
Which is a cryptocurrency. I decided I was one of those young boys that just went, I'm high risk. I'm just going to put all my money
firstly, how old were you?
This was 3 years ago.
How the fuck do you get $110,000
I was 23. Well, I put in something like...
Are you a drug dealer?
I put in something like 80,000. It went up to 100,000. I cashed out. I put more in. It bounced up again. At one point it was at 130,000. I think I had $90,000 invested, so it was $40,000 up. And I just decided to stay in.
This makes me feel ill.
When it was at a profit, I took something like, I think $25,000 out of profits. So then I had to pay tax on the $25,000. But then by the end of the year, I was something like 45% down.
And you're so not anxious about it.
Not at all. Not at all.
How?
Because I've got a sustainable income.
Yeah, but you could have bought a house.
Yeah, but like it's still in there and I'm still playing Monopoly.
Yeah,
with
but
it.
I was just going to say, at what point is this not a game and you just like...
Well, it's not. Life is a game, I think.
No, hey, I'm not saying you do you. If you want to put it in fuck crypto, do it. My point is that when do you get to a point where you're like, maybe this isn't a good thing? Like maybe it just won't get better.
Oh, a lot of people have bought houses and it's turned out to be a bad thing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? They either can't afford the mortgage or the the housing market crashes and they lose their job and it's a disaster for them. You know, I don't know. I'm still young and I feel like for me, I like high risk.
Hey, props to you if you've got that fucking amount of cash at 3.
Yeah, I was 23. What if you? Let's talk about our last weekends because I shot one of the most. This was the most beautiful wedding I've shot in a long time.
Seppler's food.
At Peter Lehman. It was actually so Peter Lehman Wines is in the Barossa. It was Peter Lehman's granddaughter. She was getting married, and I filmed her wedding at Peter Lehman, and it was just like. I've shot a lot of weddings and this couple are meant to
Isn't it so refreshing when that happens?
That when they saw each other at a ceremony, I was like,
I know.
This is meant to be.
Do you know that's the thing I love about weddings are those moments. It's like that moment when the groom sees the bride for the first time and it's genuine.
He starts crying.
But it's genuine.
Yeah.
That shit gets me so bad still to this day. I'm like, you can tell. And
you know where it starts for us when we go to groom prep. If the groom is doing a card reading, which we absolutely recommend, if you're going to do anything on a wedding day that's extra, do a card reading because it's beautiful for film. And he's reading the card and he just starts choking up, and I was like, this is good. This is good for the film.
I know, but
and
it's
so nice.
It's so and
he was just saying, he's like, I can't wait to see her.
And
and sometimes, like, I don't know, when you work in the wedding industry, I'm so badly desensitized to love.
You do get immune.
I don't care.
That's the difference between us, I think.
Can I just hold on? I need to. I just said I do care, and I love the wedding industry. I'm just very desensitized to like.
You see it every week.
I'm doing a job.
Yeah.
And you want me to be like that. You don't want me to be in the moment and being like, oh my God. You want me to focus on the job. And that's what I do. But it's very difficult for me to really like get into it because I'm just trying to cover what I need to do.
See, I'm the opposite. Obviously I do my job, but like, there are some weddings, obviously, if you're having a rough day, it's a bit harder, but I love love. And I
love it on days like the weekend.
Yeah.
Because it felt really, really
I think
real.
it depends on our moods as well. But like Saturday, the speeches Saturday fucking got me. Every one of them. Speeches normally are like, sometimes they start and they go forever. But like, and it's the same stuff all the time.
You boys have scrubbed up all right?
Yeah, like it's so... But like,
the next person who says that, I'm chucking a camera at your head. Stop.
But it was so nice, and like,
what are some hold on quickly on the speeches topic?
Yeah.
What do people say that it's just it makes me you boys are scrubbed up all right? No, it's this. You ladies are looking wonderful.
You can tell that
you
Google
boys are scrubbed up all right.
You can tell the people who go to Google and say what are the things you should say in a speech.
Yeah.
And we could roll them off. Bridesmaids look lovely. Thank you for getting him here today. Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's fine. It's lovely. You do you. But these speeches were just so heartfelt, and like the family stuff just got me. The dad, I've never heard this in 400 plus weddings that I've shot, and this got me because I came my situation with my ex. But the father of the bride and the mother, so what happens a lot, separated families, which makes me really sad. We get a lot of notes when we do run sheets saying mum and dad can't be next to each other. Like They don't talk. They hate each other, blah, blah, blah. Like we're very aware of that, and it makes me sad because they won't even stand in a fucking photo together for family photos.
Yeah, it's awkward.
It's awkward, but it's also sad because it's like, just fucking grow up for 5 minutes. I know that's probably going to, piss people off, but it's seriously like for your kids, just grow up and stand in a fucking photo. Some people can't even be in the same room. But anyway, the dad.
They hold on. They make it about them.
Oh, that's what I don't like. It's so selfish, in my opinion. But it basically.
How badly on the wedding day do you just want to be like, hey, dude?
Oh, completely. And the dad's speech. So the father of the bride got up, did such a beautiful speech. So the mum and the dad had both been remarried for like 15 years. So they got along well. But anyway, the dad stood there and thanked the mother for bringing up such a beautiful daughter and everything that she did. And it was just so heartfelt. And it's like, I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Like for the father to actually say thank you for everything you've done. And when I wasn't around or if I was working, you were the one that raised her. Like I had a fucking tear in my eye. I was like, oh my God. But how beautiful. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
But like that.
True.
The bride was in
love.
tears, and it's like you put all your shit aside for a second. It was about your daughter, and it's like that's such a beautiful thing.
That should be clipped and put as a bit of advice for people that have split families.
Oh, and I think I guess my situation's the same. Like if it was for the kids, you should be able to put that aside to do it for them because it's selfish.
And I think when people put their differences aside for someone else, it's very honourable.
Absolutely. Well,
it doesn't even have to be a wedding.
So much respect for this guy. Like it was just beautiful. And like he sat there and thanked his wife as well. Like, and it was lovely. And he even thanked like his ex-wife's new husband for what he did for it. Like it was just lovely. Like just really nice. But anyway, where are we going with this?
Oh, it's just nice. Oh. It's just nice. That's such a nice thing.
It was a beautiful thing.
Just nice weddings. Being able to go to one and it, being memorable for either you and I is a big deal. Like I do so many that it's hard to remember the weddings.
Yeah, and well, that's right. And some are more memorable than others. But on that topic, I've got a few bones to pick.
Let's hear it.
And I've been holding this on since fucking for a few weeks.
Bones to pick as well. Let's pick some bones.
Like the wedding. This is wedding industry shit. Everything but weddings. But today we're talking about weddings because my blood is boiling with this situation.
Oh shit!
I did a wedding a while ago. Let's just say, so we don't pinpoint which one it was. But I came away from that wedding and never wanted to shoot a wedding again. Is how angry I got. And it wasn't just one thing. It was multiple. So just putting it out there firstly, I feel very strongly about this because wedding day is such a big day, right? And you're spending so much money. And I'm a big believer in you need to hire suppliers that are obviously that you trust, that you can easily or happily say on the day, you know that they're going to go do their job basically. Mm-hmm. And this day, fucking so many of the suppliers from the venue to the celebrant to the cars, to the reception venue, all of them fucking, number one, had no idea. Number two, was so fucking rude and disrespectful to every other supplier that had to work with them.
I hate that.
And that pisses me off because we all have a job to do. So you know what it's like. We're so fortunate that we work with some amazing people all the time.
Yeah.
It's like us on a wedding day. You've got a job to do. I've got a job to do. Yeah. We're very respectful of that. So if you need to do something, you do it. I get out of your way. Vice versa. Mm-hmm. A celebrant, you go up and ask if you can plug into their PA. They're usually pretty good. Mm-hmm. This day,
sometimes not.
No, but this celebrant was like adamant, not happening because you're going to interfere. But she was a bitch about it.
Yeah.
And it was just so fucked because then she wouldn't help us in any way. And I understand she's got her equipment, whatever, blah, blah, but she wasn't willing to like budge on anything.
Look, I've ran into a celebrant that I was like, hi, I'm Brad. I'm the videographer for today. And I was running so late. I had no time to have that conversation, right? But I was like, hi, I'm Brad. I'm the videographer today. Obviously, I'll be recording the whole ceremony. In order to make our films, we do need to get the audio. Are you okay if I plug into your system? Blah, blah, blah.
Respectful.
And she was like, oh, no, because I've had a bad experience. And then I had to explain to her, this is actually a good note. When celebrants have had a bad experience with videographers, it is typically because the videographer is using a Bluetooth enabled device to record their audio, which means you're using a Bluetooth device with a wireless microphone. If the videographer uses a Bluetooth transmitter and receiver, it's it may, if it's on the same channel, disrupt the audio. Okay, we at 22 Wedding Films do not use any Bluetooth recorders.
And I don't think
at all.
many people would if they had.
There's a company called Rode that's very popular with videographers, and they use them and they're wireless. I hate them because if the celebrant is using a Bluetooth device, which they normally are, it will interfere. So if I have enough time, I explain to the celebrant, hey, I want to let you know this is the reason why you're having problems. We don't use Bluetooth devices. These are all internal recorded audio sources or recorders. And this one person was like, okay, well, I trust you as long as you're right. And I explained it to her and I just said, look, if they've got this type of device, then say no. If they've got this type of device, then say yes. But just a quick note for celebrants, it's because the videographer is using a Bluetooth device. That is what is interfering with your audio.
This is why I was respectful of that, but it was just the way that she approached it fucked me off because then we used a backup to just record it, not plug it into anything and sat it near a speaker just to have something.
Which is, by the way, a disaster for videographers.
Absolutely. But then she fucking came, picked it up and took it away. Because she said it's going to interfere with my stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no.
Okay, my irk with this is that at the end of the day, you're there for the couple and that is going to affect the couple, not you.
But she thinks that's going to affect her.
Yeah, correct. But it's selfish. Like your couple are not going to get the best audio because you're fucking worried about your 1955 microphone that was shit and kept cutting out anyway because you had crappy gear. I was so angry. And then to flow on from that, this venue that I'd never shot at before, I didn't even know existed, for the ceremony, the owners of the venue were there. So it was their property. They lived on the property and they had like a ceremony section. And they basically, from the second we arrived, was over my fucking shoulder with a Nikon fucking D80 from 20 years ago, smoking a cigarette, mind you, and wouldn't fucking leave me alone, right? I had to tell her multiple times to politely get the fuck out of my way because I kept bumping into her. Then the car pulls up and she literally jumped in front of me and the videographer and started taking photos of the car arriving. Oh, no. We had to yell for her to move. At this point, I was fuming. Anyway, same thing. They got out of the car. She's there. And I kept having to tell her, can you please? I was so polite. By the end, I was like I was getting so angry. So she's clearly trying to take photos for her social media or whatever. Fine. But fuck off and let me do my job. Because then the ceremony happened. She actually went away for that for a little bit. But then after the ceremony, the couple wanted to do some photos on the property. She followed us the whole way. Number one, it was a bright day. She was standing fucking behind me, blocking shadows. I could see her fucking shadow in all these photos. Had to tell her to move. She literally had this fucking camera clicking on my shoulder with a cigarette in her hand. All I could smell is smoke. I was so angry to the point that I ended up telling the couple, we're not doing this. We're going somewhere else. And we went somewhere else. And they were fine but this is the difference. And this is when it comes to being professional as a supplier, is that I didn't make it a big deal. The couple didn't know she was pissing me off.
Right.
I was internalizing all of it because I'm like, I don't want you to see this. This is not fair. What I'm trying to do is for you to get...
That's a professional thing
and
to do.
this is what I'm saying is that this is why I'm so frustrated with this situation is that it doesn't need to happen. And she was taking away from the couple and what they were getting out of us. Like we still did our job and we still did it well, but it was... it just was such a problem. And we just decided we need to remove ourselves from this and go do it somewhere else. And then we could actually fucking relax. And then on that, we left. And then the limo driver was a fucking grumpy ass man who wouldn't do anything that the couple wanted, was like being rude. He's like, I need to go by this time and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you've got time. I literally got home and had a drink after this wedding.
This sounds like, and can you just elaborate that this was not a wedding that you booked?
No, I filled in for someone else. Yeah. So it wasn't my couple.
Because I've ran into weddings like this when I very first started out in the wedding industry.
That's what I felt like it was. Like it was one that I booked when I first started. And no disrespect to the couple, like it was a lower budget wedding and all of that. But that's the problem. My whole point of this is that we've had this conversation before about spending money on the things that are important to you on a day. Because they still had a good day, but the quality of their day was reduced because of suppliers that were, number one, unprofessional. Number two, did not have the couple's best interests at heart because they were too worried about their fucking social media and taking 3,000 photos. Like, they've paid us to be there to take professional photos for them. They've paid you to hire this space. So fuck off and let us do our job.
I'm with you.
But like, how rude is it? But it's more and I've worked with videographers before, let's be honest, and you've probably worked with photographers, where it's like, there's just no common, it's just common courtesy.
Yeah.
Like, don't stand in my I've worked with a videographer that's literally in front of me the entire fucking time and I've got to tell her to move. Like, you just don't do that. It's a respectful, it's professional, and you've got to approach it the right way because your couples deserve the best. And it's such a thing. Like, it really is an issue. And I think it made me realize, people say sometimes to us, you know, your prices are a bit too expensive, I don't want to pay. That's fine. You go within your budget, but you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So what you pay for us is experience and dealing with that kind of stuff. Quality of the work, obviously, doesn't mean we're better. It just means that I've had people come to me when they don't spend much money and regret it because that kind of shit happens.
There are people in this industry that'll book your wedding and have no idea who's going to rock up on the day to shoot your day. And to me, I think that is what will destroy this industry.
I think the difference is now is that a wedding is such a personal thing, and it's so important that you just need to have trust in the people that you're working for.
But you also need budget.
But you need budget. And this is the thing. Like, when I say that, I'm very understanding that this couple had a budget, and that's fine. Absolutely fine. But you got to understand.
I would prefer, I'm going to say this. I would prefer, if I had a very small budget, to get a good quality photographer and no videographer rather than both and it be a disaster.
Yeah, right. That's a bit cool.
Yeah. I just think it's really unfortunate and sad when I see, you know, I've done weddings before where the photographer is someone who's not a wedding photographer. They're just, they've I don't know, family friend and things like this when I first started.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
And the day is absolutely infuriating.
Yeah.
Because I've obviously worked with some of the best in Adelaide. Like I work with some absolutely fantastic photographers, and you see how they run a day. And I mean, photographers have a big job on their shoulders because, and so do videographers, but I think it's very different that I actually see it as the photographer almost runs the day.
Well, the photographer runs the day, and that's why
I'm co-running the day. But the reason why I say that, and I'm not, like, it's not that I'm not taking responsibility for running the day or anything like that, but I can't have the bride and groom focus on me.
Well, and this is why we always say, I'm photo, that's video. Always look at this camera, and we'll tell you when we want you to look at that camera because you kind of want to get. For me, by the way,
never, not once.
Correct.
Don't look at me.
So people, obviously, if people are looking at you, they don't know who's who, but that's the plan. But it's also like, the photography run sheet is generally the one that a lot of people will run off of.
Right.
The timing of that for like hair and makeup, and then you've got, you know, video, obviously, but all these things, and I don't think people realize that how much work goes into it for us before the day, because we are going back and forth with run sheets, making sure that it's perfect. And you're talking
about timelines for that wedding.
Timelines for so long, yeah. And this timeline, there was no timeline. And luckily, this is the thing though, like I can step in and just deal with that because I've done 400 weddings, because I've got that experience. Whereas if someone was in my shoes that day who had done 10 weddings, I'm fucking terrified of what would have happened. And more for the couple. And it doesn't mean I'm better than anyone else. It just means that you're getting what you pay for. And that's my biggest message, is that you just need to don't regret things, because if that was my day, I would have fucking wished that I didn't spend however much money they spent, because it was a shit show. But it was just, I think what made me so angry, and what still makes me angry thinking about it now, is just the respect that those suppliers had for everyone else. Like, you don't, number one, say things in front of a couple ever, no matter what. Like,
and even if you're going to say something to another supplier, you be professional about it.
I had to tell the driver to move away and tell me what he was telling me, because I could see the bride was getting anxious. And I'm like, she doesn't need to deal with. No, but that's what I mean. This is why I was
this is
so fucking angry.
ridiculous.
And even at the reception, it was like, they had no idea. There was no MC. There was no run sheets. There was nothing. And I'm like, and then you've probably had this before when there's no run sheets in those type of days. We were literally packing, like getting stuff. We just walked in. We were just getting our stuff set up and the couple walked. Someone just grabbed a microphone and announced them. And it's like, we're not fucking ready. Like,
Yeah. But here's the thing for both you and I and where we're at in this industry now is there will never be a wedding that I film that does not have a run sheet.
oh, ever.
Because that'll be communicated by me the week of the wedding.
And I'm always on top of run sheets because it makes a day run so smoothly. Not just that, it means that
everyone knows their role and where they're supposed to be
correct.
when they're supposed
and
to be.
And you work together. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so respectful of what that chef has to do. Like, I don't want to fuck with your run times because that will affect you. Or I don't want the MC to be disrespectful of us needing to get our couple to sunset because we can't control that and make that come back.
Right.
So
but the
it
great
all
MCs
works
will
together.
understand that.
Absolutely.
And be
Correct.
like, when do you guys need to go? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, look, Karina is teeing off on the wedding industry. Any final comments? Any closing thoughts?
Don't be a fucking dick. Like, put your couples first.
That's gone in the trailer.
Yeah, but it's true. Don't be a dick. Put your couples first. That's who you are working for. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
you are providing a service for them and you need to do the best you can to make sure they have the best experience.
Yeah. I'm into that.
Boom.
I barely spoke that pod.
Sorry.
That was all you. You took it.
That's rare. Do you want to say
This
some
one,
more stuff?
this one in the last episode you spoke a lot.
We'll talk.
No, we'll wrap this one.
Okay.
And we might do another pod after this one.
Okay.
Guys, thank you for listening. We appreciate it. If you're a vendor, you work in the wedding industry, you've got similar stories to what Karina just absolutely hammered the industry for, please reach out.
I didn't hammer the industry.
No, I'm joking. I'm just saying. No, there's plenty of people that every single photographer or that I work with, everyone has a story. I like to hear them. You'd like to hear them. Would like to say them on the pod. Would love to share them, and so we can learn from them and give future couples an understanding of what they're in for.
Mm-hmm.
That sounded wrong. They're not in for a disaster
No.
wedding. We're the good ones, but we're happy to share the disaster stories so that you do go with the good ones and not the disaster ones.
Fucking hell.
We're wrapping this pod. I'm tired.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.